Total War Warhammer. Why did it take so long?
Yes, it's a very obvious question, isn't it? It is a match made in heaven. We've got the very rich lore of Warhammer and Total War's 15-year history of kind of taking historical periods and settings and getting every detail out of them and evoking them in a PC game. So we're as much mystified about it as everyone else, but it's here now, so just enjoy the ride.
The previous Total War games were always about factions. This time you're doing things a bit different. Can you explain?
It's still kind of factions, but we're calling them races. So each of the races in Warhammer is very different from each other. So Empire very much more will play in a traditional Total War way, whereas Greenskins obviously not so much about balancing the budget and politics and that kind of thing. They're going to be wanting to rampage across the map in one of their what they call War in the lore. So what we're really trying to focus down on is getting every single faction race being different to play and reflecting the way that race is in the Warhammer lore.
But with so many factions, with so many type of orcs and humans, a race, or human factions, etc., how do you decide which ones do you put in, which ones do you leave out? Do you choose a certain time frame or?
Yeah, we kind of obviously had to make a bit of a judgment call about what we saw as the kind of key iconic races to start off with. But this is just the first of 3 releases, and we've got kind of DLC and free LC drops in the interim. So just basically watch this space. We're starting off with four races: Empire, Dwarves, Greenskins, and Vampire Counts. But there's other stuff down the line.
One of the key things they told me about in the presentation were quest battles. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, this again is another kind of key pillar of what we're trying to achieve. It's to try and tell some of the stories that exist within the Warhammer lore. And an important part of that is the characters have each got kind of iconic items that they're carrying and obviously their backstory. So to unlock these items, you can undertake, these named characters can undertake a sequence of quests, and they culminate in a quest battle, which if you can work out how to defeat it, it's a bit more of a kind of a sculpted battle experience. You will unlock this unique magic item for that character.
So basically those quest battles are like personal stories of the warlords or the leaders. What about the bigger story, the overview? What's happening in Total War Warhammer?
Well, it's the world is a very dark place in Warhammer, so that you've kind of got these factions constantly vying. Nobody's really the good guy in this world, so you're going to have to get used to pretty much everyone is in the line of fire. So we've got some plans for the end game, but we're not kind of going into those right now because we don't want to spoil it for people.
To make Total War match with Warhammer, it must be kind of difficult because Warhammer is so big, so huge, has so much more to it than an average battle in Napoleon or Attila times. So what kind of changes did you have to make in the normal way that you create these Total War games?
Well, I mean, Rome obviously was fairly large scale, and history is a huge scale, so we've got experience doing that stuff. And in the battles it's about kind of paring down where we need to pare down, and as I say, adding new mechanics so that we've still got that paper, scissors, stone thing going on, and it makes the whole thing make more sense and be manageable for players.
The beasts that will devour the world.
One of the most confusing things to me is saying Total War Warhammer. So, because everybody will call the game Total Warhammer, right?
Yeah, well, we're saying it's kind of a question of where you put the colon in the name. So it really is. It's the important thing is it's the marriage of 2 games, and it is Total War and it's Warhammer. And if you start cutting off words here and there, you don't get that, and that is the key thing.
So it's basically a business thing.
Well, yeah, you could say that.